suspend the rules? I'll make a motion by Mr. Gray. I have a second. Seconded by Mr. Shoemaker. Any discussion? Mr. Gray, Shoemaker.
Just definitely comment.
Okay, Mr. Tisdale.
One of my pet peeves, it'd be great if we could get all these items in on Wednesday by noon, so that we have significantly less of these revisions to the agenda. It's just if folks will meet the deadline for getting items on the agenda, it would, because we do this a lot. That's my only comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. Any additional discussion?
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 6-1. If the clerk would read the
The consent agenda, we're substituting item 5I, exhibits A and B only, for resolution supplementing the 2026 capital projects budget. We're removing 5N, resolution authorizing subscription to Response software. And to the routine agenda, we're adding a docket in the amount of $81,106.58.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Nail. Do I have a second? I'll second it. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 6-1. Mayor's report.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. This is our last meeting in October, the first period of the fiscal FY26. And I think we had a couple of good events on Howard Avenue, Halloween on Howard. A little bit of rain, but it was very successful, over a couple hundred cars, I believe. But it was a good day. And unless I've forgotten something, Rick, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor. Any departmental reports? There being none, we'll move on to council reports. Mr. Shoemaker.
Whoa. Oh, we're going to turn it around on me. I'll start first.
That's all right. We missed you.
Welcome back. I wish I could say the same. Just kidding. Two things I have. Tonight, y'all, is our annual trunk or treat at the Eagle Point Park at 6 p.m. It is definitely not too late if anybody wants to come out, pass out candy. You do have to supply your own candy, but it starts at 6. If y'all want to come out, be there 4:30 or 5-ish if possible. And if not, bring your children, your grandchildren out. Hopefully the weather's going to be good. It's cooling off a little bit. And public affairs, I appreciate you guys. I know some things were kind of last minute with this, and I know y'all been kind of pushing it. I've seen a lot of things posted on some places, so I appreciate that. I've been trying to push it out on Facebook as well as much as I can. And lastly, November 13th, I will have a Ward 7 meeting at 6 p.m. at the Woolmarket City Center. 6 p.m. at the Woolmarket City Center, November 13th. Hopefully all the directors will be there. Hopefully the mayor will be there as well. Any questions, answers, and we'll go over a few things that we're working on in Ward 7. That's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Shoemaker. Mr. Tisdale?
Yeah, Mr. Glavin and Mr. Creel and I happened to meet at the flag football championship for 5- and 6-year-olds last night, and then the 9- and 10-year-olds. I didn't catch the names of the team, but it was something to watch. Also, tomorrow night, they will have more championship games in youth football. There's a tackle, I think those are 11- and 12-year-olds, and then my guess is what? 7- and 8-year-olds. Flag football is tomorrow night. That's at the Biloxi High School Stadium. This Friday night, Halloween, please drive carefully. A lot of kids on the roadway. And I do want to thank Michael Jameson, if he's here today. I'd be surprised if he hadn't. Thank you for inviting council members for a tour of Big John Road, and a couple of us took him up on that, and that was an adventure. Mr. Voorhees was driving the ATV and put the fear of God in me, driving that ATV. So, and there were several others who were there as well, and I didn't catch all the names, but I appreciate you taking the time to show us around. Thank you. That concludes my comments, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Creel?
Yes, sir. If we could, please, everyone, keep in your prayers Jamaica, that's going through that massive hurricane right now. Melissa, we all know what they're enduring right now, so just keep those in your prayers. I'd like to thank Jamie Lee and his staff, Brian Thacker, for adding something as simple as garbage cans to the Pops Ferry Bridge. It's a welcome addition. I've gotten more phone calls and pictures of the garbage cans out there. I had one lady claim that she was the first one to use it. So, thank you for the attention to detail. Also, I don't know if Miss Christina Johnson's here, but I want to make her aware and everyone aware of the progress that's out there at Causeway that she's overseeing right now. It's the docks and the piers that she's replacing, and the progress and just the beautification of the area that she's enhancing is a welcome addition, and her efforts do not go unnoticed. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Creel. Mr. Nail?
I want to thank Hilla Park, Jamie, for getting the benches put in fast. And Southern Avenue, I don't know about that. I guess it's going to be closed for a little while. People wants it open, but we'll find out how. And then Broadwater property, was somebody going to be here today to represent that?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Contact on that, who's handling that for the property.
Try to get it cleaned up. And,
Louis Elias.
yeah, just 2 corners right there would be really nice. We could get that cleaned up. And then I still want to let the people know that I'm ready to go to work for Ward 3. I'm not getting no phone calls. And I'll get things done if they call me. All right, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Nail. Mr. Marshall? Want me to come back to you?
He come back to him, and he won't have it meeting go back.
Yeah, you guys are always picking on me. That's okay. I want to thank Jamie for what you did with getting the barricades around the building. I appreciate that at Henry Bay Park. I also want to remind everybody that on Thursday, we're going to have a 5:30 meeting at the Civic Center in Biloxi. It's going to be a ward meeting for the purpose of Ward 2 organizing a Parks and Recreation Committee. The purpose of that is to make sure that we have enough citizens involved in guarding our parks and taking care of our parks and reporting as a liaison and working with the city to work as a partnership to make sure our parks and our facilities are used properly the way they're supposed to be used. With that, I know we got a long meeting. I'm just going to be quiet, and I think we got enough going on. Sir?
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. Mr. Gray?
Yeah, so remind everybody, we got the Smoking the Coast this week at the Great Lawn of Harris. It's going to be, get out there and have live music, something for the people to do. We thought it was going to be the plane show, but they got canceled. Christmas on the Avenue, they're looking for sponsors, so if anybody's wanting a sponsor to help them out, that'd be greatly, I'm sure they'll greatly appreciate that. I'd like to thank the Public Works and the Parks and Recs for the cleanup. They've been making the city look good, making Biloxi looking great. I so appreciate that. And waiting on Jamie Lee. He sent a picture with some signs for the parks. So hopefully it'll be soon. We'll be getting the signs hung up on all the parks. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. I got a few things. First, if I can get an update, Christie, on the dredging. What's the latest on the dredging? Oh, you're over here. Okay.
So we've issued the change order for the Brazier Bayou dredging to Tally. He had to move on to another project while we were waiting for that change order to be approved. But I sent him, or asked our in-house engineer to get in touch with him last week to find out when he's coming back. We haven't heard a response. So I will push back on that and see if I can't find a timeline that he's going to be back.
Sounds good. And I got one more just comment. I heard from the, I guess the original designer over in Reunion Place.
Yes.
He may have some information that might assist in my request to look at a little drainage issue there that may help improve it. I just wanted to add that to my report.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Also, I know Paul touched on this, but it was really, really nice to see a bunch of the Little League youth last night competing for a championship. And those boys, I'm telling you, they can play. They were completing 50-yard passes, and this was at the, the 5- and 6-year-old level, and they were really competing really hard. And another gentleman that was out there refereeing the game, Big Bubba Dickey, he was out there. He loves being close to those kids and doing the job that he does out there. And if y'all see Bubba out in the community, certainly thank him for giving so much to our youth. Last thing I want to touch on, it's on the agenda today, the reason a lot of you are here, is the Big John Road development. And I kind of want to go through a little bit of the timeline. I appreciate all the residents that live and call Big John Road their home. I attended a meeting by request at the church with many of you when I was just getting some of the information. And I shared plans that I was able to obtain from the Planning Commission. And there were several issues that were concerning everyone. Top of the list was it was going to be apartments in Section 8. I got information that the builder, the design person, the Stifel and Associates, Dennis Stifel, got to look at what property they were going to mirror, and that's Mills Creek Crossing, or Mills Crossing, which is very, very high quality, brick facade, RS10, and so forth. So I was comfortable that it was not going to be apartments, and it wasn't going to be Section 8, and I shared that with everyone. I attended the Planning Commission with many of you today, and they debated it long and hard, and they came back with a 6-6-1 vote. I discussed with my appointees from Ward 6 and a couple of the others why they didn't support it or why they did support it, and the main reason was because it was RS 7.5. And I wholeheartedly agreed with them to not support it going forward as RS 7.5. There is no evidence of any property nearby or adjacent that is RS 7.5. However, there is RS 10 nearby. And talking to the developer to see if he had an appetite to move forward with the bigger lots, is that feasible? And taking a hard look at this thing. Dr. Tisdale mentioned that he enjoyed our, in the gator or whatever, we drove through the property. We spent an hour driving up and down and across and up the ridges and down where the flood zones were and everything. And I kept seeing Paul look down. He was looking at the floorboard several times, kept looking down there. I said, man, I see you looking down at the floorboard. What's the matter? He said, I see 2 empty shotgun shells down there in the floorboard. That concerns me. Anyway, I appreciate Mr. Bories, Mr. Parker, and others for your hospitality. But we owed it to have an up-close and personal look at this thing. So the Planning Commission sends us a recommendation, a resolution to deny it as 7.5. It was moved to an ordinance to take a look and see, and that's why we have first readings, to see if it was feasible at RS 10. And we did our due diligence on this thing. The developer, we even approached the developer about, would you put a buffer zone? We didn't, 3 acres near one of the property owners, the Moran property owners. Would he be willing to do that? And he indicated that he would, among other things. So the bottom line, we took our time. It's before us today in the form of a second reading. I'm prepared to recommend that we deny the application today. I'll make that motion when it comes up, that we deny it going forward in its present form. So just so y'all know, may save us some time today, but you're welcome in public comments to spend the 45 minutes or longer if we need to discuss it. And with that, that concludes my report.
President, let me add one thing.
Yes, sir.
I forgot in my mayor's report. Today is actually First Responders Day, and I think we treated first responders to some donuts and so forth, so let's keep our first responders in mind. And I do see the smiling face of Dan Cuevas, the supervisor of District 1 back there, so Dan, you welcome, welcome. And that does conclude my report.
Well, I'm going to add too, you got former supervisor Bobby Eleuthero sitting back there too, so I've got to recognize him as well. All right, with that, we're going to move on to citizens' comments. We have a total allotted time of 45 minutes. When you come up here, just like we always do, state your name and your address for the record. Let the clerk record it, and then you have 3 minutes to talk on any topic. It's not a question and answer session, so just state your comment or your opinion, and then we'll move through the agenda accordingly. So I'll start on my left, your right. Mr. Fusco. Yeah, I'm not supporting it. I don't have the votes.
I know it's been getting serious catalogs today.
Yep.
Man.
Might be able to order a house through there.
You got 3 minutes.
Jared Fusco, 435 Cove Drive. Clerk of City Council, please enter into the record the binder I provided to you and council titled Record of Opposition Against the Ordinance to Approve Zoning Map Amendment for a Parcel on Big John Road. The binder contains facts regarding today's case, which you can now not deny having the opportunity to review. Among many other documents, there's a valid protest in accordance with Mississippi Code 17-1-17, which requires this rezoning to be approved with a 5 out of 7 votes from City Council. I understand that some believe that it had to be filed 2 days before the Planning Commission meeting, but residents didn't learn the full details of the case until they were presented before the Commission. It is contrary to both the letter and the spirit of state law to impose arbitrary local restrictions that prevent adjacent property owners from exercising their right to protest under 17-1-17. In practice, such unjustified restrictions would cause prudent men citywide to file protest against any and all rezoning cases. Included in the binder, you have the following: satellite images from the last 30 years, a map containing lot sizes within the area of this rezoning, which reflect that no lots north of the intersection of Shawnowitz and Big John are beneath 0.67 acres, with nearly all lots being 1 acre or more. During the Planning Commission meeting, Mr. Stifel claimed that the Mississippi Supreme Court ruled that running utilities into an area is enough to justify rezoning under the change in the character of the neighborhood clause, which is completely false. In Town of Florence v. Sealand, 2000, the court said, quote, "It's impossible to articulate or design a particular test for proving a material change or public need." In other words, there's no automatic formula. Rezoning must be based on actual evidence of a substantial change in the character of the neighborhood and, not or, and a public need, not on irrelevant information, creative storytelling, or a desire for campaign contributions. Only conjecture and outright falsehoods, not facts, have been used to justify this rezoning. Near the front of your binder, you'll find figure 3.3, generalized future land use, from the city's comprehensive plan, designating the area around Big John for residential development of fewer than 4 units per acre. The proposed RS 7.5 zoning clearly exceeds that limit, and even RS 10 does not comply, as the standard is less than 4 units per acre, not equal to it. Therefore, approving either zone violates Ordinance 23-24B, 3, Mr. Stiefel deceived the Planning Commission when he claimed this rezoning to be in compliance with the plan. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you. Anyone else on my left, your right? Raise your hand to be recognized. Anyone on my left, your right? Who? Raise your hand. Okay, right in the front.
Good afternoon. I live at 6237 Herbie Road, which is a private road right off of Big John Road. My name is Elaine Cron Voorhees. I own the property that was toured the other day. I've lived there my entire life, and I'm proud to say that I'm the 6th generation of this family that has lived there. I believe each of you already understand what I'm about to say today, but I feel it's important to have this entered into the public records. Under Mississippi law, before the city of Biloxi can approve a rezoning, the applicant must approve one of two things: that there was a mistake in the original zoning, or that the character of the neighborhood or land has changed to such an extent as to justify reclassification, and that a public need exists for the reclassification or zoning. The court has made clear that any change in the character of the area must be substantial and real, not merely minor or incidental. The court has made clear this. Additionally, Mississippi Code 17-1-9, which governs municipal zoning, requires that all zoning regulations be made in accordance with a comprehensive plan and for the legitimate public purpose, such as preventing overcrowding and ensuring adequate light, air, and infrastructure. In this case, on October the 2nd of 25, the Biloxi Planning Commission considered the proposed rezoning, found the rezoning did not meet the above criteria, and denied it after not receiving a majority to pass it. The Planning Commission understood the law. Based on the same facts, the same law, and the lack of any substantial change in this area, the council should likewise deny the rezoning request today. There was no mistake in the original zoning of agriculture, and there has been no material change in the character of the neighborhood, something easily confirmed by reviewing historical aerial maps. I respectfully ask that you uphold the Planning Commission's denial and protect the integrity of our community in its current zoning. The opposition to this proposal is not only strong, but also supported by the Mississippi law, which stands as the highest authority in our state. Most of Big John is in Harrison County. There's only 4/10 of a mile that resides in the city. As we pointed out to you on the map, was pointed out to you last week on the map, that we are in the county. We may live in the county, but from the number of phone calls, emails, and the number of people that has filled these rooms in the last couple of weeks, you understand that we are Biloxi strong. Don't sit in denial of that or be fooled. Thank you for your time and for your service to the citizens of Biloxi and to their relatives that live on that imaginary line in county. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on my left? Yes, sir, in the front.
Good afternoon. My name is Ray Voorhees, and I live in the Big John Road. I am here today to oppose the proposed zoning change in our area. One of the most compelling reasons to deny this proposed project is simple. There is no proven demand. Remember this. Take from the MLS Data from the MLS homes in Biloxi are selling 40 days or less. Again, that's 40 days or less. Now listen to this below numbers. On subdivisions that are close to this property up for the nearby subdivision, Middle Lakes, located less than 1 mile from the proposed property on Hudson Cron Road. There are now 10 homes currently sitting on the market, unsold. 9 of those 10 homes have been on the market days to 292 days. They are priced from $329,000 to $385,000. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, very much in line with the current housing market. In addition, Emerald Lakes is in the process of Phase 3, adding more homes to those that are not selling already. North end of Big John Road is the Highlands and Windmill Ridge subdivision. Same developer that is looking to build this project, Carroll Horton. Windmill Ridge has 5 homes on the market. Days on the market are 37 to 348 days. The Highlands subdivision has 4 homes on the market. Days on the market here are 30 days to 90 days. All of this is current data from Monday, October 27th, pulled from the Realtors MLS. I read something interesting, I read some interesting information on what's going on just a couple of days ago. Nationwide, there are 35% more homes for sale than there are buyers looking to buy. As for Biloxi, as of September 2025, there are 4 and 5 homes for sale in Biloxi. That is up from 260 homes 2 years ago in Biloxi. Numbers do not lie. These facts raise important questions. If the homes already built are not sold, why should we waste more agricultural land in an area that has never intended to be medium density? Good planning matches development to actual market demand and to the character of the community. The fact that homes nearby remain unsold should be a red flag. We support growth, but against that, one house per acre. To
Thank you,
preserve
Mr.
our
Burris.
community.
Thank you. Time's expired.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else on my left? Mr. Parker.
Anybody else?
A pen. Somebody throw me a pen. You right? Okay. Dr. Paul, I can't pull your last name out. Standing in my yard, I should have remembered it. But I knew I should have gave you something more stronger than the green tea that you were offered. And Kenny, you never got out of that side by side, because I told you those timber rattlers as big as a calf of your legs, you never got out of it. Just thought I'd mention that, okay, Mr. Mayor? Councilman, all of you, thank you to Mr. Glavin and Mr. Tisdale, I remembered, for taking time to come out, use your busy schedule to come and view the property. During your visit last Wednesday, you got to see firsthand of Mrs. Moran's property and her son and her son-in-law property. This proposed development will, that's offered there more than anyone else it would affect. Put yourself in their position. If it was your mother's property, how would you vote? This elderly lady wants to live out the rest of her life on a quiet established community, surrounded by family and friends. After seeing the property, I hope you will let your heart and your conscience guide your decision to keep it zoned as agricultural. We hope this decision made today has been prayerfully considered from all spectrum and not taken lightly by each council member. We as residents of Big John Road stand together as one powerful voice, one mindset, one goal: keep the zoning agricultural. I'm gonna tell you, in the Japanese in Pearl Harbor, I thought of one thing. They didn't further that United States bombing. You know why? Because of one gigantic thing. They said, the people are together. We can't do this. We have wakened a sleeping giant in a neighborhood. Okay? Whatever's good and keep, that you want to keep, is worth fighting for. Okay? And I'm with them. I know they got my back right now. Come on, y'all can do better than that.
I don't know if anybody wants to follow that, but I'm going to ask anybody on my left, anybody on my left, you're right. Anybody on my right, you're left. Let's start with the nearest over here, sir. Yep.
I'm Jack Weaver, 14419 Big John Road. My wife and I have called this neighborhood home for 43 years. We've raised our family, continuing our family's legacy in this community. Through our countless emails, phone calls, petitions, and strong attendance at both the Planning Commission and now before the City Council for the second time, it should be clear how deeply this issue matters to all of us. Our family and many of our neighbors strongly oppose the proposed zoning change that would reduce a minimum lot size from 43,560 square feet, 1 acre, to 7,500 or 10,000 square feet. Our neighborhood was designed for agricultural residential living, defined by space, tranquility, and consistency in character. Allowing a higher density development would permanently alter the nature of our community, something generations of residents have invested and protected and cherished for decades. With one short stretch, 1 mile stretch of road lives a proud and diverse group of people: first responders, educators, medical professionals, engineers, home builders, business owners, boat captains, realtors, lawyers, architects, shipbuilders, linemen, energy plant leaders, active and retired military accountants, and computer programmers. Among us are a retired Biloxi pediatrician, a Harrison County bank president, only one of 2 pediatric neurosurgeons in the state of Mississippi, and a Milken Award winner in education. The positive influence our residents extend far beyond our neighborhoods and across Harrison County, the city of Biloxi, the Gulf Coast, and the state of Mississippi and beyond. We have built our homes and live our lives here with care and intention, contributing to the community while welcoming growth. This proposal prioritizes developer profits over long-term and responsible city planning. I would like to say one thing that I changed before I come up here, but we also have a very, very special event put on in December by the descendants of some of the older settlers on the Krong property. They call it a night in Bethlehem. This attracts hundreds of folks across the Gulf Coast for a very special holy event. I'd like to see them try to put this on 7,500 square feet. Anyway, as expressed in previous meetings and letters, We do not understand the necessity for such high-density housing in this specific area. If there is a genuine need for housing, we respectfully urge the council to encourage development areas with the infrastructure, zoning, and character already in place to support it. Approving this.
Thank you, Mr. Weaver.
Thank you.
Time's expired. All right, my right. Yes. Come on, yes.
Cassie Boris Kilpack, 6237 Herbie Road. I'm here today as a concerned citizen of Big John Road to respectfully request that you deny the proposed rezoning of agricultural land to RS 7.5 or RS 10. The reasons for this request are rooted directly in the City of Biloxi's comprehensive plan as identified in section 12.1, the city's key policy document. According to the maps in the comprehensive plan, the property in question is included within the Wool Market planning area. Chapter 3 of the plan clearly establishes a land use framework for this area, stating the low-density residential category, which is less than 4 homes per acre, applies to the Wool Market neighborhood north of the Chudacabuff River. The intent of this residential land use category is to promote the orderly development of Wool Market by maintaining low-density residential and open spaces. Rezoning this land from agriculture to RS 10 or 7.5 does not align with these intentions. Increasing the allowable density directly contradicts the goal of maintaining rural character, open space, and low-density development Wool Market. Furthermore, the plan emphasizes outside of designated centers, the continued use of land for low-density residential development, agriculture, and open space is encouraged. This proposed rezoning does the opposite, removing agriculture land and increasing housing density without maintaining appropriate buffers or transitions. In the section dedicated to Wool Market strategies, the comprehensive plan reinforces the following priorities: encourage sustainable, low-impact site design and stormwater best management practices on Wool Market's most sensitive environmental resources. The property in question contains environmental features such as wetlands and flood-prone areas, which are best upheld by keeping the current agriculture zoning intact. Finally, principle number 2 of the city's comprehensive plan states, development applications shall be reviewed for consistency with the city's plan and shall not be approved if found to be contrary to the plan unless the plan is amended. In cases where the proposed development clearly conflicts with the plan, an approval should not be granted. It's clear that this proposal rezoning conflicts with multiple key policies, objectives, and principles of the city's own plan. Because maintaining agriculture zoning is what aligns with the city's document vision for Wool Market, we respectfully request that you uphold that vision and deny this rezoning request. I would also like to add, we have heard today a motion to have this land rezoned R10 with maybe some restrictions. However, from what I have learned recently, setting stipulations for the approval of base zoning is an illegal form of contract zoning. Thank you for your time, your commitment to the thoughtful future planning of our community.
Thank you. Anybody else? Am I right? Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, and thank you for your time. My name is Audrey Barth, and I live at 871 Moxie Road, which is Belmont Gardens Apartments, and we have been addressing an issue with you with the ditch and the repairs to be made. And I would just appreciate an update as to where we are with the plans to have the revision for the ditch, and also where we are when applying for funding, and to see as to where we are that we can progress forward.
Thank you, ma'am. If you would see our director over here, she can give you some updated information. Anyone else on my right? Your left?
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Mandy Cron, and I live at 6311 Herbie Road, Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm here again today as I strongly oppose the zoning change on Big John Road from agricultural to RS 7.5 or RS 10. To you, it may just look like another zoning request on paper, but in reality, it's another example of irresponsible growth. Where are the plans for more schools for the city of Biloxi? Where are the new firemen, police officers, and basic services to support these new neighborhoods? And I'm not speaking about just this new proposed one on Big John Road. I'm talking about all of Woolmarket that was annexed years ago by Biloxi. Does Biloxi have plans to add more schools, or are we just gonna keep pushing the burden onto the county? I know this isn't a question and answer session, I get it. I am asking these rhetorically, but somebody has to start saying them out loud. Because right now, Biloxi is already struggling to keep up what is already there. The Biloxi Fire Department is short-staffed. So short-staffed, in fact, that they've had to move tanker drivers to other stations to run the engines. Out in Woolmarket, where the zoning change would impact, the city still hasn't even provided city water to all the areas it's already annexed. So let's think about that. If there's a house fire and there's no tanker driver available, how exactly are the firefighters supposed to get water to the scene? At Station 10 on Old 67, at times there's only a 3-man crew because the tanker driver has been moved to cover another station. When they get toned out, one of the firefighters has to stay with the engine to run the pumps while the other 2 go inside to fight the fire. But the engine doesn't hold enough water to do very much. When the engine runs out of water, the 2 firemen inside that were meant for the rescue must retreat. Then they have to wait, sometimes 8 or 10 minutes, for another crew or a tanker driver to show up. By that time, the house is gone. Potentially, the residents inside are gone. And then the fire may have spread to the next property. How is that responsible or safe growth? Again, these questions are just rhetorical. Biloxi needs to take care of what it's already bitten off before adding any more. We can't keep approving new developments when the city hasn't caught up on the basics like schools, fire protection, or water infrastructure. Growth should strengthen the community, not stretch it to its breaking point. I'm asking you to please do the responsible thing. Say no to this zoning change. Biloxi is not ready to fully support its residents, it already has. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on this side of the room would like to speak? Raise your hand to be recognized. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is Lyle Moran. I live at 14360 Big John Road. My property directly adjacent to the property that's in question, talking about. I'm completely opposed to any change in the current zoning that we have right now. 1 acre lots pretty much matches up with what we have. I have 2.5, my mother has 1.5 acres that were right up next to it. I'm not just asking, I'm pleading. Please do not change this zoning. Leave it like it is, leave the character of the neighborhood the way it is, and allow us to continue living our lives and all. There are plenty of other places that we can move this to that are more in line with what we're looking at right now, because I mean, Councilman Glavin and Dr. Tisdale both looked at it. You know that those are big lots that we have. And what they're going to try to do next door to it is not going to be big lots. It's going to totally change the character of our neighborhood. So I'm asking you, please, leave it like it is. Thanks.
Thank you. Come on up, sir. Yep.
My name is Jade Toncray. I live at 14424 Big John Road. This council is burdened with going over a certain amount of elements to actually approve this amendment. Just go over them briefly. This amendment is not consistent with any adopted comprehensive city plans. This amendment is not required to address any mistake in the city's plans. It is not compatible with the existing zoning arrangement that goes on now. It has already encouraged premature development. It significantly impacts the home value of our neighbors, and there is a significant adverse impact on the stormwater management of the area if this development were to continue. Secondly, I would like to address some issues going on with a petition that I'm not entirely sure was denied or not, but upon information and belief, we were told that we were required to have this protest petition in 2 days before this meeting. I could not find anywhere in the city ordinances or the Mississippi Code that required such. There was no notice of the time, which of course lends to procedural due process issues. We want to avoid those altogether. To conclude, I would just like to say that there's something beautiful to be said about this place in which we all inhabit. There is nothing exclusive about the birds that sing their songs, the trees that give our children shade in the summer, or the sun that gives our gardens life. However, there is something substantially different about the atmosphere that has been carefully curated and cultivated by both our parents and our grandparents. There is something different about being able to go door to door for school fundraisers, visiting with neighbors, or simply making sure Aunt Brenda gets her mail today. We respectfully pray that you understand the threat we are facing and respect the power to destroy that this body is vested with. We pray that you take careful consideration of the factors that weigh in favor of the many versus the two that wish to change our home. We pray that this commission honors both the law and the community's investment in the land by rejecting this amendment that threatens to undo decades of stability and trust. This body is a body of the people. As you can see, the people are here. The people are voicing their concerns, and the people have made it very clear on what we wish or how you should vote. Thank you.
Thank you. We only got time for about 2 more people, so if raise your hand to be recognized. I got time for 2 more. Lady in the back, raised her hand first. She'll defer, okay. All right, you will be our last. The lady in the back will be our last if you want to. All right, come on up. Time's ticking.
So I'm Stacy Niecase. We live at 14601 Big John Road. I'm here with all my fellow neighbors. I did not grow up on Big John. Our family did not grow up on Big John. We came to Big John because it is a quiet, it is a peaceful neighborhood. Everybody's already spoke about all the legalities of what's going on here. I'm telling you how it is from a family standpoint. My 10-year-old's back there, he cannot even get into public school because there is no space. My high school students, my first child, she's had to be a second-year senior. Why? Because the cities keep building and the county keeps having to take care of the problem. My child couldn't get the classes she needed to graduate, so she became a second-year senior, missing out with her peers. Our next child, she missed out her entire first half of her senior year. Why? Because there's no space at the high school. There's no teachers to give those classes those kids have to have for state required to graduate. Imagine being a senior and you can't even go to school with your friends. Pretty devastating. Our child that we have right now at home, she can't even get into the high school because there's no space. She's sat out 3 years so far. Here we are in October. And we tried every time the term changed to get her into school. They keep telling us there's no space, there's no teachers, there's no classrooms. That's not okay. We can't have this going on. My husband's in law enforcement. I can tell you, our street is quiet. We all work as a team. Somebody's dog gets out, there's always somebody on there, hey, so-and-so, your dog's loose. We police our own neighborhood. So I'm begging y'all, please do not mess with our neighborhood. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, we got time for one last. Yes, sir.
My name is Mark Tibbley. I live at 15055 Big John Road. I have lived there for 45 years. My wife, Deborah, has lived there her entire life. She's a Cron. She grew up there. My children were raised on this road, and my grandchildren were raised on this road. I grew up in D'Iberville, old D'Iberville, and I grew up in a wonderful place. And half of my family lived in D'Iberville. The other half of my family lived in Biloxi, the Hickenbotham. And I spent a lot of time in Back Bay Park, and it was neighborhoods that you wanted to grow up in, you wanted to be in, and I think each and every one of y'all grew up or had a part of that in a neighborhood that you grew up in if you're native to this coast. It's a wonderful place where we live. It's a place where I personally, this road is about 1 3/4 miles long. I personally know probably 90% of the people who live on this road. I rehabilitated my knee last year, and I'd walk up and down the road, and I knew everybody just about. In 45 years of living there, when I first moved up there, we had about 26 residents on Big John Road. It has grown to where it is right now, probably 80 plus in 45 years. That's a house a year, or maybe 2 houses a year, maybe go a year or 2 without a house. But it's been very, very slow, moderate growth, and it has helped us maintain what we have, which is a good community. This proposed project will, in a matter of 3 years, double where we're at right now, which is a significant change to our community. It will change our community forever. We will never be the same rural community that we were because of the impact. Almost feel like we're the Indians and the Cowboys is moving in on us. We're outnumbered, okay? But you're the city of Biloxi. This cannot be a make or break deal for y'all. Y'all have casino revenues, business revenues. This revenue cannot be a make or break deal for y'all. But y'all have the power to now help us maintain what we have. And in time, this land will be developed in a way that is consistent with what we have. And I'm sure the police chief can tell you these kind of communities are less burden on him because they're more wholesome communities. You're not having a bunch of people shoved in at one time that you don't know, that you don't have time. Look, I'm not going to live another 45 years to get to meet everybody that's.
Thank you, Mr. Tidwell. Your time's expired.
Thank you.
Point well taken. Citizens' comments is now closed. We'll move on to the policy agenda. The clerk will start with the ordinances. Item A.
Ordinance to amend municipal facilities pertaining to the rental fees for the A.J. Holloway Sports Complex.
All right, this was moved by Mr. Tisdale and seconded by Mr. Nail. Mr. Tisdale.
Thank you, Mr. President. Looking at this, we're currently looking at revising the charges for use of the baseball and softball tournaments. There's a one-day rate that would increase to $2,000 plus $1.50 per admission, and a two-day rate of $3,000 plus $1 per admission. What I would prefer to see, and I'm interested in more discussion, Mr. President, is that we increase the daily rate and do away with the admission per person entirely. And I'd like to hear the discussion, if we pursue that, that we look at how much the daily rate might increase. Again, that's for a single day tournament, the rate would increase to $2,000 plus admission, or a two-day rate of $3,000 plus admission. That's where I am, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. Open for discussion. Does the administration want to comment on it, or?
You come up to we've discussed it extensively, especially with some promoters, some heavy-duty promoters that want over 90 dates. Is that what we talked about with the latest group? Yes. And we discussed it in detail. There's a push. We're trying to do some things in the revenue picture, and without leaving money on the table, I think the promoters, and at least the ones that we've discussed with, that this is more than reasonable, because when you're charging $15 a day or $10 a day to go see your grandkid, and we have zero revenue off of it, it's certainly reasonable to expect $1 to come back this way, offsetting 7 or 8 people it takes to put this thing on, and they still make money. Okay, so we examine this pretty extensively with feedback on what this is going to do to the ability to make Biloxi a hub for this. And what happens when you get that commitment to be a hub, there are 4 or 5 other facilities, because they want a lot more ball fields than we have. And we're competing with some people in Pensacola and in Alabama with the ability to do this. We have top-notch facilities, but there are other places that have top-notch facilities and have a similar situation with the revenue. This is what I propose, and this is, I think, what should be done to maximize the investment of $6 million or so we put in there. And if we don't run a few people off because of price, we're not charging enough, and we haven't run anybody off.
If I could.
Yeah, Mr. Crew.
So I'm not sure what promoters you spoke to. I spoke to 3, and this has been since Thursday and Friday. And I've heard you mention that comment before. If you're not running off 3 or more promoters, you're not charging enough. Coming from a baseball background and coaching travel team, it's not, these tournament directors, if you run them off, they're not holding the tournament. They're just not holding it in Biloxi. They're going to find a place to play these tournaments, and if Biloxi keeps increasing and taxing these promoters, other facilities will realize that, and they will start decreasing theirs to get those promoters over there playing. I spoke to promoters that hold tournaments in Daphne that has similar fields to what we have, and actually they have more fields than what we have. He can go to Daphne for less and get the teams from Biloxi to play in Daphne, as opposed to holding it in Biloxi and getting the teams in Daphne and even in Florida playing in Biloxi. I agree with what you're trying to do. I understand the efforts. However, I don't think this is an avenue that we can pursue for many reasons. First of all, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I am wrong, right now we're holding tournaments out there for 70, 80, sometimes 100 teams. The promoter I spoke to is looking to bring 250 teams here in June. So right now, we're working off of 3 guys that are working those tournaments out there. So now you're looking at someone that would have to sit at the gate in order to count, unless we're going to trust the promoter to say, I had 5 people come in instead of 5,000, or what have you, if you're looking for $5 or 5,000. So rather than try to, and not to mention catch the out-of-the-state tax commission. So if you're not trying to believe the tournament director, they may do it once, but once they realize how much more money that they are losing and how much more money it is costing them, they won't do it again. So at the proper time, I do have an amendment to propose if there's no further discussion.
Any further discussion? Any further discussion?
I do, just real quick.
Shoemaker.
I would agree with what Councilman Creel said, and just, I guess I have 2, and he touched on it. Who would monitor that? I mean, if there's 2 gates open, who monitors those 2 gates? I would think we'd have to have 2 other employees there, I guess, which is 2 other employees we're gonna have to pay to be there. And state taxes, how does that work? I mean,
Services, it's part of the admission, part of the fee. I don't think it's applicable.
all right, now that was the only 2 questions I had on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale.
Yeah, Jamie, I'm not sure whether you would know this or not, but I assume somebody does. Folks we're competing with, other cities, what do they charge? What are their rates, or how are their rates structured?
They are pretty similar to ours. There are some that are a little higher and some that are a little bit cheaper.
And that's a daily rate?
Daily or weekend rate.
But not a per admission rate?
I'm not sure about that, Dr. Tisdale. But I do say we do offer one of the best products around. I'm happy to say that. We have a wonderful facility. We have been fortunate to receive the benefits of putting in the turf that promotes these people here. So, we've heard the horror stories from other promoters going to different areas about what hasn't been done. And that's something that we pride ourselves on day in and day out, to make sure we can provide to these promoters to get here, to bring the people into the city of Biloxi and the area. And that's something we want to continue to do. There are different upgrades that we are looking at doing, and we need to find out how we can fund those upgrades to continue to offer the better service than our competitors around.
I think we do have an edge on amenities that are within striking distance of our ball fields, and even when the Gulfport has a number of teams, but they wind up in our amenities, and I think that translates to, I guess, the attractiveness of our facilities. Again, it's an effort to maximize that, what we've invested in, with the ability to reach out and maximize our revenues.
Mr. Tisdale, I know you have the floor, but can I ask a related question?
Sure, go ahead, Mr. Glenn.
Why don't you also expand that conversation or comments on Biloxi compared to Gulfport? Because there's a perception that Gulfport is bigger and better than Biloxi, but that's not true, is it?
No, sir. You always, you hear the saying, bigger's not always better.
Why? Let this council know.
Just because you have more fields, more areas, doesn't mean that you can offer a better product. Like I said, we take pride as a department, as a city, to offer the best product that we can to these promoters, making sure that they do have the things they need, making sure their fields are set up in the right dimension, making sure the facility is clean.
But the point I want to make is that we actually have more turf fields to be playable than Gulfport actually does, because they have more dirt fields over there, and when it rains, they can't play on those dirt fields, where we have more fields to be able to put our teams on. That's the point I wanted you to make.
Jamie mentioned too, let me jump in too, these rates only impact these travel tournaments and everything. Our leagues, are benefiting from that top-notch, all our internal ball and things are there. This is just for people who want to make money. Okay, and they're coming in and using this investment to make money. You have to take that into consideration on how we price this, and that's the
Tisdale, you still have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mayor, I don't think anybody's arguing about the point that we want to realize more revenue, and I think we're in a position to do that. We're just discussing how to do this. So if we did away with the addition of an admission per customer, so to speak. Certainly, we probably have enough data now where you could run the numbers to see if we charged an admission fee, all right, and compare that with what would your daily rate increase if you did away with that admission fee. That's what I'm looking at, and still be competitive. I think there's a sweet spot there. That's the only point I wanted to make, and I don't know if anybody's looked at that data, and if not, maybe we ought to, and possibly table this till the next meeting a week from now.
I got a comment, but Mr. Creel has one before I comment.
So one of the promoters I talked to is with Traction, is the name of his company. He's out of Louisiana, Mac Chuli. He does farm leagues for LSU baseball. I mean, this guy's, he's top notch whenever you come to travel teams and tournament ball. When I ran this scenario by him, he said he could not operate under this based on the way it is. So, and that's what I'm saying, but you say Gulfport, now, bigger's not always better, but at the same time, if we price ourselves out of the market, these tournament directors will go play in the dirt. I mean, keep in mind this, Gulfport there's nothing in Gulfport better than in Biloxi. DeBees Road's a great big road, and so I get my passport stamped every time I cross it. But understand this, if you look at Gulfport's facility, they may not be bigger, they may not be better, but there's 14 fields. Their hotels are in walking distance. There's a water park next door to it. There's a Sam's Club across the street. There's every restaurant known to man in Crossroads. When you come to play in ours, you're staying at a hotel on the beach, you're crossing Pops Ferry Bridge, you're coming around. And I'm not saying that, but they want to play at our fields because our fields are top notch. And I get it, and we want them to come here. I think that's the point that we're missing. I'm not saying we don't need to make revenue or increase the revenue. I'm just saying the way we do it and how we do it determines if we're going to keep these. We need to stop looking at short-term revenue and looking at long-term effects, because you may get the influx of money in the short term that you're looking for, but in the long term, you're going to lose these tournaments and they won't come back. Because once they go play somewhere else in Daphne that does have to have turf fields, and Daphne starts catering to them, when we start reaching back out to them because they're playing over in Daphne, they're going to say, hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm loyal over there. We got an opportunity, as I said, in June, this promoter wants to bring 250 teams here. And if we do stuff like this, he's possibly going to look elsewhere.
Couple comments. I do like perhaps we table this and do a little bit more fact gathering. And I know you may think you've done all of it, but I think we need to do some more. My grandson, Emerson, plays travel ball, still playing it. He's 14 years old now, and we've been playing it forever. Daphne, when we go check in now, drive in, there's no attendant that's taking up cash there. They actually got everything on cashless. And I just wonder if there's a reason for that, if they're able to collect those extra fees through that mechanism. I don't know the answer to that. I do know this, though. There's a lot of demand. Everybody's talking about our Biloxi fields. When I go to Daphne or I go to Panama City, or I'm going to Louisiana, people are talking about the new enhanced Biloxi fields, and there's an appeal to that. But I'd be careful and I'm not saying we've thrown numbers out there, but I would do our due diligence and create a spreadsheet and try to collect the data of what the base fees are at our competing fields, whether it's Gulfport or Daphne or Pensacola or wherever it's at, and then try to overlay on what our value is, and then try to make these decisions accordingly. So I would support tabling this until we can get more information. Any other comments? Mr. Tisdale, you want to make any kind of recommendation?
Yeah, I'll motion that we table this till the next council meeting. Does that give you enough time to crunch whatever numbers you need to crunch for comparative purposes? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
That would be November 4th at 6 o'clock.
Okay. All right. There's a proposal, a motion. Do I have a second to table it for 1 week?
I'll table it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gray. Any additional discussion? All in favor? Those opposed? Those opposed? All right, 6-1, and we'll revisit it in 1 week. Thank you, gentlemen. Next item.
Okay.
Ordinance to approve a zoning map amendment to authorize a change in zoning for a parcel of land from agricultural to RS75 medium density, single-family residential for an unaddressed parcel fronting Big John Road.
Thank you. That was moved by me, and it was seconded by Mr. Tisdale. I'll open up some discussion on this. I know I made it part of my council report. And by the way, Mr. Parker, when we had that visit the other day and we were wrapping up, you asked me if I was sure that I didn't want to come in and have a shot. And I told you whichever way this goes, I'll take you up on it. And then Mr. Tisdale asked me, are you really sure what he meant by that? You know? So, no, seriously. I hope listen, I respect each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. I've grown up with a lot of your families when I hear the Bories and the Crons, and all of you. And we didn't take this lightly, none of us up here, and neither have you, neither has the owner of the property, neither has the developer. Everybody has worked real hard to make their case on why this shouldn't go in or why it should go in. I believe the developer to be a very reputable developer, and I've stated this, and people out there, developers out there, I'm not going to name any names, but had it been another developer, it may have given me even more pause. So, that all being said, I hope you appreciate the time that we've taken to look at this issue and to review and weigh the pros and cons of all of it before we arrived at a decision. As I stated earlier, I moved it to make it more restrictive. RS10 was an amendment I was going to consider. I'm not going to make that amendment. I'm going to ask my colleagues that we deny this application, and that it's just not the right time and it's not in the right form, that it meets with the will of the people. So that's my comments. Mr. Tisdale, you have it?
And I would second, if that's a motion to deny, I would second that motion.
That is a motion.
The zoning change, Mr.
All right, any additional discussion? There being none, oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Marshall.
Yes. All right, I'm in Ward 2, East Biloxi. And I want to say to each and every one of you sitting in this room, I admire you, and I thank you for speaking up for your community. That is your responsibility. You have to speak up for what you want in your community and what's best for your community. I find it strange, though, that all of you are here to speak up for your community, and I appreciate it. We are all working together as one, and what's best for Biloxi in its entirety. But as a councilman that represents East Biloxi, I'm going to ask that you speak up for East Biloxi also. What you're fighting, we're begging for. What you're mad about, you've already paid for. I'm going to ask that Mr. Creel step forward just for a moment.
Which one? There's three of them here.
Not you, Mr. Creel. The other Mr. Creel. Yes, you, Mr. Creel. Not that Mr. Creel. There's another. Well, I'm surrounded by them. Mr. Creel, this developer wants to build how many houses?
72.
72 houses. What's on that property right now?
Nothing I'm aware of.
Nothing? It's just empty space?
Yes, sir. It's
trees?
Yes, sir.
Bushes? Natural landscape?
That's my understanding.
Rattlers?
Yes, sir.
Every animal that's enjoying it, the way God intended it.
Yeah.
It's there already for the purpose that's always been there. They want to protect that. Okay, now, in East Biloxi, how many empty lots? Do you think it's over 100 empty lots in East Biloxi?
Oh, easily, yes, sir.
Over 500 in East Biloxi?
Probably, yes, sir.
I'm going to venture to say it's over 1,000 empty lots in East Biloxi, but you guys are fighting over 72 lots. You're going to let these people come in and tear your trees down, destroy your lifestyle, but you'll fight for that. But you won't fight to build right here where you've already bought, you've already paid for the sidewalks, your tax dollars, you're county citizens here. You've paid for those sidewalks. You've paid for those streets. You've paid for every little hookup for water and sewer. You've already paid for it. It is sitting there, waiting on you to tell these people, put the people where you've already put the infrastructure. That's where they need to go. We right now have people building houses here for people who are moderate income, your school teachers, your police officers, to the multimillionaires, all working together in this community in East Biloxi. Mr. Quavers. Yes, sir. 90% of these people are county people.
Dan, come up to the microphone. We can't hear you.
No, we good. He's good. We need your help to find a place without destroying these people's homes and livelihoods. Help the city of Biloxi to build right here in Biloxi. Our schools are not full. We got the school desks empty waiting for them. Our schools are now full. The police department is right there. Our fire trucks don't have to go all over looking for water. It's right there. Everything is sitting there waiting on you to get with this mayor and these council people and write, just like you wrote us letters, write them letters now, send them to them and tell them, let's develop East Biloxi. 19,000 people come to work here every day. No. Of those 19,000 people that drive here every day, they leave here looking for a place to live because we got empty lots. They can't live on an empty lot. So what are they doing? They're looking to come out to your area. They're passing their place they really want to live. They really want to live here in Biloxi. They don't want to drive 15, 20 miles to go out and destroy your area. They already got an area. We need to work together. Come on and help me. Help Mr. Wayne. This is Wayne. He's over in Ward 1. We're right there together. We're twins in this. We are brothers in this. Between the two of us, there's still over 1,000 available lots ready to build tomorrow. We don't have to cut trees. We don't have to destroy habitats. We don't have to do anything. That is so silly that we're going through this. The answer to this is East Biloxi. East Biloxi. Can I ask that you help me to talk to these gentlemen to develop East Biloxi? Thank you.
Mr. Marshall, there is one vacant home on Big John Road. And I think these residents are going to adopt you, and you'll probably be a resident of Big John Road now. Anyway, there being no further discussion, I'll call for the question. All in favor to deny this application? Any opposed? Motion carries. welcome. You're welcome. I'm coming for that shot. All right, let's move on. Next item.
Resolution authorizing entry into a facility rental agreement with Gulf Coast Center for Nonviolence and approving a waiver of facility rental fees for the Lighthouse Park Pavilion.
Before we proceed, I'm going to take executive privilege. I noticed Mr. Parker raised his hand. I'll go ahead and get out of order. You got it. You got it. All right, do I have a motion? Yeah, we can. They're pretty quiet.
Hey, y'all remember on y'all's way out?
I lived on Harvard Street, right on the tracks where the neighborhood was. I agree with you 100%. You go down there now, it looks like it's just.
There you go. There you go.
I didn't even know where Harvard Street was anymore.
There you go. We can fix it.
Yes.
Look, we're trying to
Hey, if y'all need me down there, I'll speak for you.
There we go. We need you to speak.
We see that.
I see. Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out. But tell them on their way out, they can come out in the lot.
There you go.
Worry about the football rally. Maybe the hood rally.
Hey,
Y'all ever want to come back? Mr. Tisdale?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I was the one you came with my husband. Said, he was the one that bore hands. And he told me, he said, stay inside. That's what he told me, stay inside.
That was from Mr. Glavin. That wasn't from me. You forgive me.
Thank you so much. Our house was the line. The city and us. Yes, sir. So I would say thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
And please tell Kenny.
I will.
So now we
I lived right across from his mom and dad on Crawford. No, his grandparents and his mom told me.
I'll let him know.
I know he's mad at me.
He's not mad. He's not mad at
But I just thank you.
He's not mad at you.
I told him, I'm still a no. It's your first time?
What just happened to me?
Good. I got you guys.
Yeah. No. You see how you flipped the script?
I've noticed that.
All right.
I didn't see it over here.
But he took
Let's try to get back to work, gentlemen. Let's go. Yep. Yeah. Well, had to take a little break. All right. Resolution C has been read into the record. Can I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make it.
All right. Moved by Mr. Tisdale. Do I have a second?
I'll second. Actually,
Shoemaker made the.
Oh, Shoemaker moved it. Mr. Tisdale seconded it.
I didn't second it.
Oh, you did not?
I did not.
He's not going to either.
That's correct.
All right. I have a motion by Mr. Shoemaker. Do I have a second? I'll second it for discussion. Mr. Shoemaker.
Since the budget, I have found myself not supporting all of these where we're waiving fees. However, I think for the Center of Nonviolence, and we did cut their budget, I think, this past year as well. So I think I agree. I think it needs to happen. I think we should hopefully get the support of the rest of you guys and waive the facility fee, $400.
All right.
Question.
Mr. Creel?
So is this the ongoing service that they want to provide every month? This is a one-time deal? Okay, so this isn't the, okay. All right, thank you.
All right. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for the question. All in favor? Item C. Opposed? Motion carries. Where am I at here? 5-1. Next item.
Who was out of the room?
Excuse me?
Wayne wasn't here.
Wayne wasn't here. Wayne was absent.
I abstain.
You abstain?
Yeah, what are we voting on?
Item C, to waive the fee for women of nonviolence.
Yeah.
Okay, on the discussion part.
The Gulf Coast Center for Nonviolence, they're requesting a waiver of facility rental fees in the amount of $400. Mr. Shoemaker chimed in that we cut their budget, and he felt this would be reasonable, and we had additional discussion. So go ahead, you have the floor.
I was trying to find a consistency in this. We denying for some and not for others. I support the group.
Sure.
I support them 100%. And I do know we did cut that money. I didn't cut it last year, did, but actually technically didn't cut it this year either. You guys did. But are we gonna be consistent? That's the question. Mr. Tisdale, what are you thinking?
They do outstanding work, but my position has been, when we got into the budget discussion and where we were, that with one exception, I think for the Air Force, to approve something with a waiver of fees and deposits. I'm sorry.
Those for the band.
For the Air Force band, even though they do good work, to be consistent, I'm voting against this resolution.
Okay,
Still have the floor, Mr. Marshall.
I'm supporting the group. I support the group 100%, but until I can get a better idea, we're going for these, or we're gonna turn them all down, or whatever, I'm just gonna abstain right now.
My comment is this, each entity request a waiver. If there's entities that request a waiver, I think you look at those entities. This is just my opinion. I know it's not shared by all. Some of them could be nonprofit. Some of them can be for-profit. Some of them can be a small amount for the waiver. Others may be a larger amount. So I think you take it on the merits of each request. I don't think you can cookie cutter, at least in my opinion, that it's either yes or no, unless we officially adopt that, and then it makes it easy. It's either yes or no.
This is the Lighthouse Park, okay? This is not a air-conditioned pavilion. This is the Lighthouse Park, not a civic center. So for a one-time event.
That's right, and it could be less intense on the labor that's required by us to facilitate.
And it is for outreach. And Kenny, to follow up with you said, you got to look at the intent and what the event is. If it's a Christmas party and all of a sudden they want free rent, that's one thing. But when they're doing the community outreach at the park where citizens that need the outreach are visible, that's where I took into consideration for support.
So what I'm understanding is that if they're asking for the Snyder Center to have a Christmas party, that would be different than to do outreach like this group just they're not partying, they're outreaching.
In my humble opinion, yes.
I understand that. That's fine. I'm good. I'm okay with it. Yes.
You're a yes. Okay.
May I say?
Yes.
Just,
Mr. Shoemaker.
I think what they do is vital and crucial to the outreach of absolutely what they are, the Center for Nonviolence, Women's Center for Nonviolence. And I do believe during budget time, and again, I know that's passed, but I brought up to keep their money, and I was the only vote, Mr. Marshall, not that matters, but I was the only vote for them to keep their money, so I got no support from everybody else. $400 for the Lighthouse Park is really nothing. There's nobody there, there's no employees, there's no air conditioning. Certainly, I would hope we could do that for what they do for the community.
I'm going to support you in supporting them.
Thank you.
All right. I think we already got the votes and additional discussion. You got those duly recorded? You think so? All right, we'll move on. Next item.
Resolution appointing Stacy Eleuteris to the Biloxi Beautification Commission.
Need a motion?
I'll make
Need a
that
motion? No, wait.
Motion, yes.
Motion by Mr. Nail. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Creel. Mr. Nail?
You want to come up?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mike. I'm ready to go to work.
All right, Mr. Creel? No, Mr. Creel has...
Well, thank you for accepting his nomination, and
Yeah, I look forward to it.
absolutely, your reputation precedes you with your tenacity and professionalism, and I know Mr. Creel in the back is going to look forward to serving with you on the commission, as well as
Seems straight.
good. Well, that's we're going to task you with that. So there you go. But no, thank you for coming today. I know we had the preamble.
I just have to say, after being in real estate 26 years in development, I'm just glad I was on the other end of that one.
I got a question. Over by Big John Road, there's a road called Stacy Lane. You know anything about that?
Grow up out there, yes.
All right.
Had a little bit.
We're going to put a picture out there and say this is our new beautification commissioner. No, congratulations. Any other comments?
Paul.
No, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We look forward to see what
for your
y'all can do.
confidence. Thank you.
Mr. Tisdale.
Stacy, you'll do a fine job. Congratulations. We'll add you to the prayer list just in case.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Let's vote. All in favor? Opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Need a motion on the consent?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Tisdale.
Second.
Second by Mr. Creel. Mr. Tisdale?
Sure, give me a second. Let us, excuse me.
If you want me to come back to you?
Yeah, if you would.
All right, Mr. Creel?
I thought you were kidding. Let's see here. All right, we got our item I. So just, and the only one, I'm sure Mr. Tisdale's got more to inquire about on this one. My question is on the Pops Ferry extension, and excuse me while I pull this magnifier out simply because I can't read this.
Printed it as large as we could.
Yeah, right. So item I, the way I look at this, so, and if I'm reading this wrong, please help me. So unencumbered means it's in there, but it's unspent, correct? It's appropriated or allocated, but unspent?
Allocated to the project, but there is no contract against those funds.
Okay, and then remaining in budget is the balance, correct?
That's balance, but that includes our encumbrances.
Okay, so on the Pops Ferry extension, if I look at this right, it says remaining in budget is the 3.931, and then the unencumbered is the same amount.
Pops Ferry, you're looking at 913.
913.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, 913, right. So those match. So the balance and unencumbered. So balance means no restriction, encumbered means it has restrictions.
Encumbered.
And they match.
Contract.
Contract, but potential expenses coming.
And these are actual expenses when we expense it, so, you know, it's like a purchase order. It could be more from one reason or the other. But it's going on, you know, the 913 and 1107, it's going along the actual construction expenses in that other project.
Correct. 913, we're using property acquisition.
Okay, and so is 913 with the 3.9, is that would that be considered fully funded since it has no obligations?
It is fully funded, barring additional expenses that we are anticipating.
But the additional expense is not listed in this? Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm sure it'll come up again. So, let's see. So item J, I know we're transferring the use and airspace agreement from one person to another company. So the new leasee is still responsible to pay the fee?
No, the new one, yes.
So
All duties, responsibilities.
so going forward, the new leasee's on the hook for the 2,500 then?
Correct.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, so item K. So this is the Save Our Sound Coalition, the 82,000 and some change that's left from the 250 that we're carrying over. So when we pay this, when we receive the invoice from the county and we pay this, it goes on the claims docket? Is that where it's listed? So
Invoice from the county, usually towards the end of the year.
mhm.
And that is funds that there are there for that.
Okay, so would it take an amendment to move it from the claims docket and put it in the consent agenda rather than it be looped? So when we receive the invoice from the county to request, I would request that we actually get the expenses from Mr. Blessy so that we have a copy of those as well and move to the consent.
But I don't know, we can't approve a check anywhere other than on the claims. Call it up to discuss it.
It will be on the docket. It will be. Any disbursement will be on the docket.
Can you make sure that when it's requested, we can get the detail? I think that's what you're.
And that's what I'm looking for. So the research I did, I had to get everything from the county's website. So we have no dissertation or no expenses that we can find on ours that shows Mayor Blessy's trip to DC that he had for $4,000. So I can get that from the county's website. I can't get those invoices and those expenses from our city. So if we can, when we get the invoice from the county, can we request the additional backup as an exhibit so that way we know what we're paying for?
Backup of everything that we pay. And the trip to DC invoices. Yes.
In detail, the whole detail?
Everything that was paid was in detail and on our invoices. Now, the county may have paid something that they did not see reimbursement from us for, but everything we pay. Full detail invoices on.
Okay, but we don't see the invoice.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I can make a
See the
note.
entry on
and
the
when it
docket.
comes
So
in,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So can we, I think I understand what Mr. Creel is saying on this. When we get the invoice for reimbursement from the county, can you provide a copy of that to each and every, make a note that each and every council member can get a detail of that reimbursement? Is that what you're asking for?
That's exactly right. And I'm asking simply because we had the workshop, we created awareness for this, and so we just need to know what we're voting on. I know you and I had discussion that up with the 82,000, as long as it's not a penny over, you have discretion to pay the bills. I just want to be able to see the bills.
Rachel, the details should be provided on the thing, the entry in the consent agenda, that piece of paper that goes along with it.
the item, because
Oh, it's on a regular docket.
It's just a document,
But we can
so
provide that.
I can
We can
email
provide it.
to
Yeah.
everybody at once.
Yeah.
You promise? You pinky promise? Okay, just making sure. All right.
All right.
You still have the floor.
All right, let's see. Item L is done? Is that what that is? Item L is done. And so that provides a 2-year warranty for the work that's been done, starting from completion date.
Starting from the date of pay,
Final payment 2 years from that date.
and that's on this docket, that it starts.
Okay, let's see here. Item M. So I know we got some storage, and also we're letting them use the boardroom is there any way we can get a cost associated with that would cost if?
It's $150
Is that $150 per meeting?
per meeting.
Is that what it'd be? So it'd be one. 5 times 100, 5 at 150, okay. And okay, it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go back to Mr. Tisdale if you're ready. If not, I'll move on.
Sure, if we'll look at item 5I,
Yes.
which deals with the capital project. So we have an exhibit that looks like this.
Yes, and then
Okay. And there were, then we have another exhibit, that's Exhibit A, a spreadsheet. And on this exhibit, and in comparing them, I'm asking because I don't know, there are some projects that are listed here, but not here. There's like 3 or 4 of them. They
are closed.
They're closed. That's, okay, that's what I suspected, but I wasn't sure.
The budget right, they're the projects that
Right, gotcha. Now, if you would explain, because I don't understand, this far right column, we have an amendment. What does that amendment mean?
those entries represents an invoice that we paid or a grant reimbursement that we have to pick. The capital project budget is, of course, a part of our budget. We have to pick a point at which we're giving it to adopt as a part of the budget. We have a multi-year fund where 26 needs to open with exactly the same amount of money that 25 closed at.
The source.
Right, right. This is what it takes to get it there. So that, if I had, and I have to use numbers that I can remember, if we said that we had $100,000 in this account, in your budget that you adopted, but your numbers are from August.
Right.
And I paid a $20,000 invoice after that, we would need to do a $20,000 amendment
Okay.
to that budget that you adopted so that it opens at 8, which is the roll forwards. Rolls everything forward to the penny of where we ended.
So that amendment is the difference between what we appropriated or allocated at the beginning of the fiscal year, and then where I think the expression used at the table in the past was we're truing up the account.
Correct.
All right, so that amendment, either positive or negative, reflects money either coming in or going out based on where we thought we were at the end of the fiscal year and where we actually are.
Correct. It's
All right.
on the numbers that were adopted as a part of the budget. Our accounting software actually reflects those numbers today. It's on a multi-year fund, but we're up our records.
All right. Now, if you'll bear with me. For those of you at home, you can't read it, but that's all right. We can barely read it ourselves. All right, okay. So break out the magnifying glass. So let's look at project 1117. That's the Pops Ferry extension. And you've got a column that says total project budget, that's roughly $25.3 million. And then the original fiscal year 26 budget, roughly 17, almost 17.3 million. Then you have a revised budget, which is the same. And then the next column is the total cost, 8 million and some change. And then the prior year's cost, same amount. Then we go to the remaining in the fiscal year 26 budget, and it's roughly 17.3 million. And then going across to the next column, remaining contractual obligations is slightly less than that, 17.2 million. And then the unencumbered accounts for the difference. Okay? So far, I'm guessing pretty good. Okay.
Third amount is what we have.
Right.
Unexpected expenses.
Exactly. And then pretty much everything, the other columns on the right refer to the funding sources, correct? So for example, with Grant 3C, that's about $3.5 million. Then we get over to general obligation 22-3C, that's about 4.9 million and so forth. But I'm understanding that correctly, right? Okay.
That's the sheet.
Yeah.
That incorporates everything in that other sheet, so you where we are
That's-
right now as of
That's correct. Okay.
correct.
Carson County.
Okay. That's all I have at the moment, Mr. Glavin. If you want to go on to somebody, I may have a question later on for another particular item.
We'll move on. Mr. Nail, do you have any items?
On the surplus seats, is that just more items that we're finding to sell?
Yeah, it's a sailboat.
Yes, sir, that, you talking about the sailboat?
Oh, it's a sailboat?
Yeah, I think that's a 27-foot sailboat that was left basically abandoned in the marina and through the ports in which we worked through the process. Now we're just going to go ahead and do a gov dot on that sale. And we are looking right now, redoing the inventory systems, and I've talked with Chief Miller, several of the other department directors, of us to make sure that we're taking care of all of the excess equipment in which we have, to try to get that ready to put that out for auction.
All right.
So we're looking at those and seeing, but yeah, this is a 27-foot sailboat, I think maybe a 1998 version or something that we're going to put out for those.
All right, thank you. That's it. I see.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right. Mr. Marshall?
Come back to me,
Mr. Nail? Mr. Gray?
Yeah, item Q, I'm sorry. Yes, item Q, the Tullis Gardens. I'd like to make an amendment on that one to Tullis Gardens Hotel, do the maintenance on the grass cutting on that one. They holding up the progress from anything, so.
Restate that again, Mr. Gray. You want to do what with item Q?
Make a motion for an amendment on item Q to add that the grass cutting, that the Tullis Gardens Hotel take care of the maintenance on the lawn, on that grass.
Who's cutting it now?
Our property right now.
Yeah.
Say it again, sir. Sir, I didn't hear you.
Who is taking care of the maintenance, Mayor? Okay.
Right. Right, we'd like for them, if they're taking over it, they're paying us to hold it for them, at least they can take care of the grass cutting on it, where the city don't have to keep paying for
We
it.
don't have the rights to that property at this time, Mr. Gray, so I guess that would be the only legal hurdle we would have to take a look at and see, because if something happened on that property, it's still city property. We're just giving them the option to purchase that at this time, if I'm correct.
If I, go ahead, Mr. Marshall.
I'll wait, go ahead.
Well, wait a minute, Mr. Gray, you have the floor.
Well, right. So we're liable for if they get hurt cutting the grass, is that, it's kind of like they're leasing it from us, correct?
They have the option to buy it at this time. Of course, obviously, as Mr. Marshall knows, I'm not an attorney, but in specifying those, what I'm looking at is that legal. Now, if we do some type of liability waiver or something like that, those will be things, or add the cost of the maintenance in which we're maintaining it to the price at the end, those will be opportunities that we can take a look at. My only concern about turning that over to that company is, again, they do not own the property. So that's just my advice for what it's worth, which is probably not much, but that is my advice to the council at this time.
Okay, I guess I'd like to remove that motion.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gray, you still have the floor, Mr. Gray.
Okay, and I'd like to make a motion to amend item P in the consent agenda to remove the funding going to the capital project number 913 to instead reallocate it to the money will be allocated to equal among the wards for projects that qualify under the Mississippi Infrastructure Modernization Act in 2018, because we don't have the funding now to take care of our projects in our ward to do the paving and infrastructure that we need. We have roads that we have no money to do. So I think this would be fit where we need it. And all the wards would benefit from this.
Is that a motion?
You would be offering an amendment to the resolution?
Right.
That's your amendment to the resolution?
Right.
Okay. There's an amendment, proposed amendment by Mr. Gray.
Second.
There's a second by Mr. Marshall. Continued discussion, Mr. Gray, if any.
Well, I mean, that's all I have. I mean, we're study asking for paving, and we cannot get nothing paved because the city don't have no money. And this comes in, and we're going to move this to the extension of the Pops Ferry Road. And understand that that's a project that needs to be done, but we're letting the rest of the city fall apart. And that's what this money is designed for, is to help. So that's where I would like for it to go.
Mr. Marshall, I'm sorry,
That's all
Mr.
I
Gray,
have.
are you finished?
That's
Mr.
all I have.
Marshall, you seconded it.
I agree with Mr. Gray. Ms. Levitas, you know,
Let me add one thing before we go forward. This latest amendment to that, at 3.39, but there's about 1.6 that's restricted already in that project for 913 that we cannot reallocate. But let me also add that, you know, the $10 million that we're researching will address many of those items that are on the list that we've developed. So the intent was to push that over the long term, to come down with your list of, projects across each ward.
Ms. Levitas, if you recall, I had a ward meeting. And one of the gentlemen stood up and he said for a while he's been trying to get a little patch fixed in his area. And it's been bothering him, it was bothering those in the neighborhood. And you told him something that really kind of didn't sit well with the crowd. Do you recall what you told him?
Actually, I do not.
Okay, he ask you about the money to fix it, and I believe you told him what?
I probably said we don't have the money right now.
So we don't have the money to fix roads?
Correct. We don't have
So
any money in the budget right now.
we have no money
For paving.
to fix a road, a pothole, but we're gonna go and do all these other things. I'm good with that. I understand that. What this does is, this gives when I have a citizen that's complaining about something like that, Mr. Tisdale, you got somebody complaining about that. Mr. Wayne, I went over to your park today. All the roads in your park they're cracking, they're falling apart. We have to beg to get something done. This is gonna stop that. If you divide equally among each ward, we can get things done in our wards to fix what needs to be done. We don't have to, as the stewards of the money, the way the legislature has set it up, we shouldn't have to go and beg to do what's right for our people. I know it's gonna cause a discomfort. I know it's gonna cause a problem. But we have to fix this.
I agree with you. Right now, if you'll recall, we've had a judgment in an eminent domain matter. This money is necessary in anticipation for that. I ran the scenarios. Put this in here. There's $93,000 extra dollars, and that's it. This is the attempt to cover that judgment, that $3.9 million judgment that was entered in the Harrison County courts against the city. That's what I didn't want to say or didn't know about.
Okay. These are funds that are,
Real.
okay. These are already restricted funds. According to this act, it's to rehab roads and infrastructure.
It can also acquire property.
It can also acquire property?
Of those roads.
We talked about this in executive session before about what was pending. And again, this is in anticipation of what we're able to address.
So excuse me if I may, so has that judgment been entered?
No, it's not been finalized yet.
Okay, it's not been finalized, but apparently the administration has gotten word?
I can't.
We don't?
Can't say.
Okay. So Mayor, you had mentioned executive session. We were given a heads up. We've heard nothing, at least I've heard nothing since until now, and due to questioning,
We heard some scenarios. That's in anticipation of addressing whatever scenario pops, but we're hopeful that.
So if I understand correctly, then our attorney, whoever that is, and the apartment complex attorney now, they're working this out? Would that be accurate?
And the judge, too.
And the judge, okay. So once it's entered, how long, once that judgment is entered, how long do we have to move that money and come up with the funding?
What do you want?
Do we have to do that immediately?
I'm not sure.
There's an amendment second on the table.
Well, and here's why, oh, that's fine, and here's... Right. So here's my point, though. We'll have another check about this size in about 6 months. We get 2 of these checks a year, the use fee. So if this is something that's going to come down, be rendered, and it's official and everything in a month, that's something to consider. If it's not going to be for 7 months, well, it's something for us to consider, too. I mean... What we're trying to determine is how best to use this money to meet the council's needs in the wards. Right. I mean, I know I've got paving, I've got water lines, we all have something. Mayor, you had mentioned that
let me jump in, talk about meet the needs. This is an immediate need should a judgment come this way. I mean, so if it happens in 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months, then, I mean, this is immediate. Then what are you going to do is I think, the anticipation.
That's, so when we get that official notification, then...
What the number would be.
How long do we have? Once we get the number, how long do we have?
I don't know.
Sure. But, I mean...
We could always move it back, correct?
So when's the next payment coming in?
6 months from now, I think.
Okay, yeah. We got a motion on the floor. Second. I'm ready.
We're in discussion still.
Yeah.
So
I didn't want to interrupt. We'll come back to me on it, on discussion. I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
No, we'll go ahead. I'm through. Did you want to say anything? Jamie?
I thought you had finished discussion. He was in discussion.
I'm good.
Any additional discussion?
No.
Nope.
I do.
Jamie,
go ahead.
So the quick question, if this amendment passes and it goes out and it goes into Public Works for additional projects within the wards and the judgment comes in, we could possibly make the motion to move it back at that point, couldn't we?
It's gone, it's committed.
Okay.
So basically, if you did that and we went under contract for paving, let's just say, because that's one of the things that you brought up, then we wouldn't be able to move the money back. We would have already encumbered all this funding, this money under the paving contract.
And this 3.9 is not the number. 2.2 is what you're talking about. That's right. 1 point whatever it is already committed to the project and it's been for multiple years. So you're not talking about moving 3.9 million around. You can't do that. 1.6, what was it? 1 point?
Yes, I think it's 1.6 left in,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then there's this
2.2 is what I think the intent was the amendment. And that has restrictions too on how it can be spent, because that's a use tax that has some strings also.
Okay.
I need to ask another question. So I know the intent of the amendment is to get access to some revenue to take care of some issues in the wards. I get that. The mayor mentioned issuing a bond. We've talked about it, $10 million bond. We have in the past also have done revenue anticipation loans And we've gotten short-term loans until we can get the bonds, and we paid them back once we got the bond proceeds. Is that also a possibility?
Absolutely, it's all on the table.
So if there's immediate needs, one tool that we've used, and Paul, you remember this, I mean, it's been several years ago.
Yeah, that was, we're waiting on FEMA money, so it was a grant anticipation.
So this would work the same way, Councilman, if we had some projects that we could identify that are similar to this money that you were wanting to pull back, claw back, we can achieve the same thing by issuing that, or going and obtaining, and sometimes the local banks would shop it, and the banks would give us whatever they bid on the percentage for a short-term loan to bridge it until we get the proceeds from the $10 million bond. Would that be something that y'all would be interested in?
Let's go with the motion the way it is, and then if the lawsuit come forward, then we get the money from the loan that you're talking about to clear that up.
I'm just trying to
We got a bird in
give
the
y'all
hand.
a little bit of wisdom that
We got a
might be
bird in it.
coming
I
into
like
play.
your option. I like your option, and we can use your option to clear this debt that he's talking about for the lawsuit. We can clear it, because in another 6 months, there'll be another lump sum of money again. So that will give you the time that you need. But for this right here, I like to state exactly the way it is. If you need to go ahead on and borrow some money to take care of this lawsuit, use the plan that he just said.
You can't make a loan for a judgment, okay? So, again, there's a list. When we talked about that list of projects, you know, the way, if you were to ask me to proceed on, because $2 million is going to eat up everything. You can't just do $2 million and do some significant projects. I would prioritize what, and it's not, the projects are not equal across all 7. We have X amount of dollars, and at least, you know, we've identified probably.
The problem
Let
is.
me finish.
Go ahead.
We probably identified $6 million worth of paving projects. Okay, so then how do you attack it? First of all, you got a scope and design, those kinds of things that take time. You're not going to spend it overnight, okay? But you got to get this thing, and then you got to commit. Okay, so I mean, there's enough time. Do what you want to do, Councilman Gray, and everyone. Hey, you got what you want to do. There's 35 of these entries in a table. You pick it. Y'all just come around and see what we can do. And it adds up what we're going to do. The intent was to put about $6 million of that $10 million into those projects. But it's going to take time. This, to me, I mean, if you ask my opinion, I think this is the proper thing to do for the situation that we're in. And it's not 3.9 million. It's probably more 1.7 off of that 2.2 that was just entered because of the use tax. The same thing.
So we're $6 million, we need $6 million for paving. So the $10 million bond was gonna put $6 million into paving and fixing? Or was that for generators and AC units?
A lot of the, you know, the roof was 1.2 million, it probably, so there was a number of that, but a lot of it was, you know, the paving projects. Right? We'll go over that list, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, if we need to, we borrow 12 million. I mean, what's it most important to you to deliver it, and what's the timing? What can we deliver in the first quarter, the second quarter, third quarter of this fiscal year? So I think that would be the plan, is to tell, you know, put our heads together and decide what is the priority and then how much we need to do to the things that you've determined that needs to be done. But this is, in my opinion, this needs to stay like it is. And my commitment to the council and to the people is so we can deliver as many projects as we can, as fast as we can.
The problem I got, sir, is that East Biloxi is getting left out of everything. East Biloxi is getting walked around and kicked around. That's not going to
Well, I respectfully disagree with that.
Well, you can respect it differently, or you can get up and go down there.
Well, I mean, your opinion is just like mine.
Look and see.
Okay. I drive it every day.
I don't
Gentlemen.
No. Don't tell me I'm not looking at what I'm looking at every day.
I get it, but this is not conducive to making progress here.
Every time we need something, we have to come and growl and beg. I don't want to do that anymore. So these are the funds that we need for our wards, and each ward, they want to give you back their $300,000, they can give you back their $300,000. Mr. Shoemaker, you want to give yours back to him, give it back to him. Mr. Tisdale, you have the right, it's your $314,000. Give it back to him and say, hey, sell it whatever issue you find you want to do. But leave that up to the wards to do. But I don't want to keep telling my people we don't have enough money to fix a pothole.
Yeah, we got drainage gratings on Howard Avenue with traffic cones stuck in them. You know, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. We got sidewalks that needs to be repaired. I mean, they went through there and put all the telephone poles down Howard Avenue. Well, somebody in a wheelchair can't get down there, so they got to get in the bike lane to get down the street. I mean, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen for somebody there. I mean, we got to come up with the money somewhere, and this is, I mean, I guess lack of communication, maybe. I mean, we didn't know about, you know, y'all need the money for this or that. We need the money for this or that. So, I mean, we got to come up with a solution because the people are ready to get things moving. And
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Mr. Tisdale?
Sure. What other sources do we have that are available besides this use fee that's just come in?
The second source, you know, the second entry was coming up in months, I mean, which would be a similar amount, maybe a growth of that. And whatever additional, for the Prosperity Extension, you know, with additional funding from MDOT or the Coliseum may help offset some of these things too. But, you know, and
Right, but we don't know that for sure. So what I'm looking at is options for this $2.2 million judgment hole that we're dealing with right now, okay?
the 3 million plus.
3 million plus, but we already have, I believe, what, 1.6 in escrow?
Yeah, but that's again, that's not the judgment. That's something different.
That was not for the judgment?
No.
So,
Some restricted for acquisition. Right. That could be. Yeah.
That can't apply to this.
But again, we're positioned to handle what worst case scenario at this point.
all right, so we're looking at a judgment of 3.9. That's the number? Okay, this is 2.2.
That was just put, but they had 1.6 or something, 1.7 prior to that 2.2.
Oh. Okay, all right, that's fine. But this 1.7, isn't that what we had to put, for lack of a better term, a deposit or escrow with?
No, that was a grant to be paid back once we buy that right away.
So there's, all right, so if the number's 3.9 and this is 2.2, where's the other 1.7?
We come by applying that for the right of way, which in effect is the judgment. Right.
Our match to that grant brings us to about 1.7 total with this here right now, plus this 2.2.
Okay, so, okay. So the 1.6 or 7 I'm thinking of was to match that MDOT grant.
Yeah, and if we're successful with another 2 million coming from another source, either in 1017 or this one, we'll mix it up. But we don't know. That'd be coming from Coliseum or Board of Supervisors or the state, either one.
All right.
We're hopeful, but at least a couple.
Okay, I'm confused. I'm thoroughly confused now.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let me back up a little bit. You know, we put a number of improvements for the Coliseum. Okay, the underpass, or you know, between the, as well as the
correct
entrance into the west entrance of the Coliseum. Okay, we identified 2 million from the county, but really we need an additional 2 million coming for those improvements. You know, either that or we do not make those improvements. We're hopeful that, you know, everyone, so there'll be another 2 million source to do this. We have the total construction budget to handle that. We may not use it. Does that make sense?
Well,
If that money does come in, he can use that to offset this transfer of money that's being requested today. If that other million comes in the future from the county or MDOT.
So, okay. So, all right. Let me go back to square one, because I'm thinking when we line up a project and we approve a capital project, the assumption has been that we've got all the funding in place, we're ready to go, here it is, and we understand that there may be some unexpected expenses, usually covered with a contingency fund, but now we're talking about, this judgment was unforeseen. We knew it would be something. We didn't think it would be this amount. But now I'm hearing, well, if we get this from the county, and if we probably will, but we don't know. But I mean, shouldn't all of that have been hammered out before we approved this project?
Act 13 was the original project, right away, and construction. When we gave the numbers and we got the grid, we created a construction Oxford project.
Correct.
All the budget related to the contract related, not the acquisition. So 913, we had about 24 million. When we split it.
About, yeah, but about, yes.
913 plus 35.
Correct.
So we funded the improvements to the Coliseum and construction budget. Based on what we thought was going to be, so we couldn't go forward with the contract without having some sort of, we're pretending that, they got to come up with another couple of million for us to complete that construction.
You say, when you say they, who is they? Is that the
They requested us to do the work around the railroad tracks and the underpass.
Who requested us? The Coliseum, okay, all right.
I think the county provided $2 million right off the bat. They needed another $2 million to do $3.8 million. We're hopeful that another couple of million coming that way, we can move out that budget back in.
Okay, maybe I missed something, but I didn't know that we needed an additional $2 million for that.
Construction is totally funded. It is, that's always the case.
The mayor's still working on getting additional $2 million to help offset some of the money that the city's having to put forward for that entrance to the Coliseum.
On whether or not, our option is, I come with the 2 funds, we're not doing another couple $1 million worth.
We're fully funded. He's just working on getting some additional funding to compensate for some of those, the entrance to the Coliseum.
Well, it sounds like some things are still up in the air between us and the Coliseum. And we started working on this project how long ago? A long time ago.
Yeah.
And right, but
In November of last year, so about a year into construction.
okay.
But we were able to fully fund the project while those discussions are still happening. So it was prudent to go ahead and move the project forward while the mayor continued those discussions.
I understand. Well, the word you used is prudent. I think it would be prudent to include the council as we go down this road so that we know what's coming up, so we don't discover all of this in a council meeting.
All right, listen, this Pops Ferry extension has been a major, major project. We talked about it in 2000. We just started it last year. There's a lot of people that have told all of us in their lifetime they never thought this would ever happen, and we're in the middle of it. I understand needs and all the wards and the frustration that can cause. I offered an alternative to that. We can accomplish exactly what you're saying, probably even maybe a little bit more money if we did a revenue anticipation loan and then got the bond issued. But we're upsetting a lot of apples here and could delay this major project, which could escalate even more cost. And I don't know if we're willing to take that risk. Maybe we are, but that's just my 2 cents. So,
a couple of things.
Yeah, Mr. Shoemaker.
I know y'all said Pops Ferry extension is fully funded.
Yes.
The Pops Ferry extension is fully funded?
Construction is fully funded. The only thing that's not fully funded is the, this new judgment that we just got that we weren't anticipating.
But everything else?
But everything else.
How long, I know that every 6 months we get the internet sales tax. So moving forward, how much of that is earmarked already for the Pops Ferry extension? No more. But this particular money we're talking about now that's on the agenda, I think you said 1-point-something million has already been earmarked. So out of the two, So I think it's 2.2 million, I believe, give or take, what we're talking about now. But, so right now, that money, even if we voted up here that every ward was going to get some money, we legally couldn't take the 2.2 million and split it. It's going to be a much smaller percentage of that, is that correct? Because that money's already earmarked?
It's not earmarked until y'all pass this resolution officially.
Okay, so right now, technically, it could be spent as long as it adheres to the law and the, okay.
Right.
Right. That's all I have.
Mr. Tisdale?
So let me go back to, this is one funding
You're next.
option to close that hole. What other options do we have?
Do we have a significant amount already in this that's already sitting?
If there are, I mean, if there aren't any other options, there aren't any other options.
But the bottom line, kind of I think sooner than later.
We don't have to make a decision on this today. We could think about it and maybe have Diana here to answer some financial questions. I know she swims in that puddle more than anybody else here. But I'm just making that observation. I do have another.
Wait, let me finish the thought that you started about other sources. Okay, we've got a 27 or whatever $1 million in the construction account. That is inclusive of about $3.8 million of the Coliseum. If we decide not to do those additions, we've already funded 2 of that 3.8. We need another 2 million to finish the complete thing. We can pull that trigger.
That the Coliseum wants, right?
That's it. At the request of the Coliseum.
Okay, what happens if we decide for some reason not to meet those requests of the Coliseum?
We saved 1.8 million.
Okay. That's the only downside to this?
Well, there'll be other downsides to it. I mean,
well, I'm trying to...
we're trying to be fair and equitable. We didn't request these things. They requested them. Right. In an effort to...
I understand that.
And this project was not started 2 or 3 years. It was 6 or 7 years ago.
That's correct.
And going into the thing, when we anticipated a build grant that would be 80-20, this was pointed out. And I took a hard line on this. No kicky, no washy, okay? And they requested this, not us. And that's a hard line I'm going to take. But the numbers worked out, and I think for the benefit, we worked with MDOT, we worked with our legislative delegation to work out this thing. And I'm not, moaning and groaning. It is what it is. And worst comes worst, if it, regardless of this 2 million, we're going to get reimbursed for doing this. These, say $4 million worth of work for the council.
So my thing, and I have a different question after this, but it's kind of related. But my thinking is if we table this today, it gives the administration a week to get their ducks in a row, look at different options to fill this hole in terms we can understand and follow, okay? And I'm probably your greatest challenge there, but It's hard for me to understand some of these things. All right, so that's a thought, if we can hang on to that thought for a moment. The next thing is, you had mentioned the $10 million bond. Okay, when will we see that list so we know what's on this list? I know you've been compiling it. I think Mr. Weaver has, and I commend him for doing that. When will we have something to look at there?
Already, I think we've got about 8.872 on the list at this point. None. We have that list. We can find that tomorrow if you want.
All right, and if I understood you correctly, we can't take out a grant anticipation loan to pay off a judgment. Is that correct?
No, but we can do what Councilman Glavin said. So we're going to receive this use tax money three or four increments before the smoke clears, and we can. But we're back in what numbers can we get it at 4.1 or 3.9? So that's why we're trying to do that. It'd be higher rate if we pull the trigger, a couple of million at a time.
Excuse me for a moment. Where's our attorney today?
He was called.
Okay, of all days.
He's on Big John Road right now.
That's right.
Hopefully he's in one piece. Okay, so just to kind of sum it up, and then I'll let whoever wants to speak. I just think tabling might be a good idea for a week, and we come back and look at some options and determine what's most feasible. I get the idea that if we allocate this money by awards and you get the call 3 weeks or 6 weeks from now to pay that judgment, some of that, what we've got, may already be, it'll take a little time, but some of that might already be committed to something. And maybe it's possible, maybe it's not. We don't know what the future holds, but that's my thinking. I'm just going to listen for a while. I know you're grateful as I am to listen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. Mr. Marshall's been patiently waiting.
Okay. Quickly, you've already said that of the $10 million for the bond issue, you've already picked out 8.9 million, or was it 9 million of projects? Okay, hold that thought. Which projects of that $9 million did you have a say-so on? Do you know? What about you, Mr. Glavin? $9 million he's already allocated of this money. Which part of it I didn't ask you yet. Which part of it do you know going to your award?
Do I know? I don't know the exact number. I know the project that I've identified, but I don't know the exact number.
So you don't know if that project, is that project in your list?
It's on my list. It's the list that I submitted.
Is it included in this bond, is what I'm asking you?
Oh, no.
I'm anticipating it may be considered for
So you don't know?
I don't know. You're all correct.
What about you? Nothing. What about you? So you're going to spend $9 million of a $10 million bond, and we don't know what it is that we got out of it for our award.
I can't issue that bond until it comes before.
No. He's already decided what he wants to put forward.
We still have to approve it, though. It comes to the council.
I'm not saying you don't have to approve it, sir.
Okay. I'm just saying we will have review of that.
He very clearly said he's already picked out up to $9 million worth of projects. You're going to pick out projects and didn't ask anybody up here about what to do with it.
Well, indirectly or directly, we talked about fixing some roofs and those kinds of things, and generators, and some heavy-duty, multi-year kinds of things. They were our bond attorney and our financial advisors have been going over what was on the table. This fits, this doesn't fit. This fits and this doesn't fit. And we have that list as of,
But the problem is.
Well, I can provide that list tomorrow, and you know all of that. And nothing's allocated.
But the question is.
It's considered.
By who? Not by us.
It's going to be considered by you.
When you decide what you guys want to do with it, then you come to us, and we get left out.
Not a one. Don't keep pointing to me. We do this in conjunction with the needs we know have to be done, the problems we have, which pops up every day, whether it's on Howard Avenue or whether it's on Pass Road. Let me finish. So this is not me. Just don't come pointing at me unless you got a. But bottom line, that list will be available. It's in my office right now if you want to come walk in there. But it's, it will be changed, but we'll keep you posted day by day, week by week. So we got about almost $9 million worth of things identified that are multi-year not something that's going to make sense to pay overtime.
Okay, so your we does not include any of the 7 people up here who has the answer to their award. Your we, so far, I have not found one person say, I know about my part of the we. None of us know about that. But you already got this list, and each one of us have asked you over and over. I know Dr. Tisdale has. All of us has asked you, what about the $10 million? All we get is, some roofs here, some roofs there, and some air conditionings. That's not a good answer. And I can't take that to my people when I don't have the money to fix a pothole.
No standing ovation.
You have anything?
No, I mean, like I said,
You got yourself on the list already, huh? You already know.
What?
You got 8 millionaires on your list.
No, I mean, we probably actually need about a $15 million bond with $6 million in paving, plus the infrastructure. We got water lines. Rodenberg still is falling apart. I mean, so 15 probably wouldn't even be enough. That's all I got.
Right now, we're at the point, if you don't mind me saying, right now, we're at the point where everybody is suffering. We're begging. Every meeting we come to, we're asking you, telling you what our people are saying, and we're getting nothing. This right here would put us where we need to go, and we ask that we should make the decision, and then you got a problem with the lawsuit going on, things like that, find another way. Find another way to get it fixed. But right now, this would address our issues with our constituents and our wards. I'm responsible for my ward. And I can't go back and keep telling them, I don't have money to fix the pothole.
All right. There's discussion on an amendment. There's also a suggestion that we table it. We could proceed, if y'all want to withdraw the amendment and table it and come back and amend it at a later time. And you said 1 week, Paul?
Yeah,
one meeting, 1 week?
I'd like, again, the word is prudent. I'd like us to consider what other options the administration may have as a funding source for this judgment rather than this use money.
I got it.
So if we table that for a week, that allows them time to come back to us with options and explain it so we understand it and then can make an informed decision.
To be fair, Councilman, I understand what y'all are proposing, but we have had no time at all other than when y'all presented the suggestion today and the amendment. No time for your fellow council members to digest it and consider all options. 1 week seems reasonable to me, but the majority rules.
I mean, we didn't have any time either when this come up. You know, we didn't know anything, where the money would be to go at. Our people are asking us, when you gonna fix this hole? Why we got drainage problems over here? We got a cone sitting out of a thing. We got Mardi Gras around the corner. Christmas parade's coming up, and all this stuff is a hazard to the people.
So I will ask, is it reasonable to table it for 1 week so we can review all the information and suggestions and good ideas that you are proposing so we can make an informed collective decision? That's all I'm asking.
I'll honor Mr. Paul's request for 1 week. We table it for 1 week.
Okay.
And then we'll make our decision.
So may I ask you to just simply withdraw to make it clean?
I'll withdraw my motion.
Will you withdraw your second, sir? You can always propose it in a week, put the amendment back on. And if you do that, then we can.
And withdrawing, what we're saying is they're going to come back in a week to find out with another alternative.
Wait, I need a copy.
No, you already know what it is. You got yours. It's all yours anyway. What you need it for? It's your money, $9 million. You don't know what's on it?
We got a sergeant of arms.
Just prove my point. You got a $9 million of your
with the sergeant arms.
You don't even know what's on it.
Recover my copy.
Because he's just going to hand it to you like you in the third grade.
Thank you, Councilman. All right, so we've had a withdrawal of the first and second on the amendment. We have a proposal by Mr. Tisdale to table it for 1 week. Is there a second on the table, tabling it for 1 week?
I think Wayne seconded it already. Maybe.
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Creel. Is there any additional discussion? All in favor? Those opposed? Tabled for 1 week.
Abstain.
Oh,
Abstain.
let the record show that Marshall abstained.
Thank you.
So it's 601. All right, let's move on to the next item. The next item on the consent. Wayne, you got anything else on the consent?
No.
All right, great. Anyone else have anything on the consent? Mr. Shoemaker, you want to bat something around again? Do you have any other items on the consent?
No, I do not.
Mr. Tisdale, you?
I've already had plenty,
All
thank
right,
you.
Mr. Creel, you have anything else you missed?
I think I went through the
All
alphabet.
right, Mr. Nail?
No.
All right, Mr. Marshall, I'll come back to you. Mr. Gray, you have anything?
Nothing.
All right, one more time. Mr. Marshall, anything?
I'm ready to
All
go.
right, thank goodness. All right, we'll get the exceptions after we take a motion or take a vote on the consent. All in favor? Opposed? With the understanding that, which item was it?
P.
P is tabled. All the other items, are there any exceptions on all the other items
President.
on the consent?
President, I apologize. I don't think the clerk was able to get the results of that last vote.
You didn't get the votes?
Abstain.
6-0 and one abstained. Mr. Marshall abstained. Everybody else voted for it,
From the consent?
for the consent.
Abstain. Abstain.
Okay?
On all of them or one?
All right, we'll start with Mr. Gray. Any exceptions?
None.
All right, Mr. Marshall, any exceptions?
Abstain.
You abstain?
Yeah.
Okay, he abstains. Mr. Nail, any exceptions?
None.
Mr. Creel?
No exceptions.
Mr. Tisdale?
Nothing.
Mr. Shoemaker?
No exceptions.
I have none as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for getting through that. All right. Code enforcement's hearing, we'll now open that up for the floor.
We only have one case today, and it was an extension from a previous meeting that was held on September the 9th. This is the area behind Edgewater Village, and it was really bad at one time. We're just going to have to accept the fact that there are going to be some pallets behind there. I mean, this is just part of business, but they have done a good job of cleaning it up, so I would say that it's resolved.
All right.
Question.
Question by Mr. Creel.
This was the gentleman that needed the dumpster? Is that what?
Yes, sir, it
Okay.
is. But it was mainly the furniture store that was in there, and Mr. Luffy has talked to them, and I had a conversation with him today. They're going to keep an eye on it and make sure that they keep the trash down as much as possible.
Perfect, thank you.
Mr. Tisdale, wait.
Jerry, no, just thank code enforcement for following through on this. I drive back there periodically, and a lot of it is within their control. Some of it is just due to the nature of the location. There's no fence behind it, and sometimes it's close to being pristine, and other times it looks like a confetti bomb went off back there.
And there is some overgrowth back there, but it's actually on an adjacent property, not on
Exactly.
the
So anyway, just appreciate code enforcement's efforts on this. Thank you.
All right, code enforcement hearing is now closed. We'll move on to routine. I need a motion on the routine.
So
Moved by Mr. Tisdale. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Shoemaker. Mr. Tisdale.
Not a thing.
Mr. Shoemaker.
I have nothing.
Anyone else?
Walt.
Nope, sorry, took that from you. You got 20 million for us?
Good afternoon, council.
Good afternoon, Walt.
Working on that 20 million. The city received 670, a little bit short of 672,000 back on October 7th. That was followed by an additional 673,000 on October 24th. Including what we paid out on the last council docket, we are 975.8 thousand to the good, so we are well in advance of 60 days in advance.
That it?
Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Any other items as we entertain a motion to, no?
We have to vote on the routine.
Oh, vote on the routine. All in favor of the routine? Those opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Any other items before we entertain a motion to to what? Adjourn. Have to do what? No,
I'll
we
make
don't
that,
have to do that.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Tisdale. Wait,
In honor of the National Responders Day. Kind of cool.
all right. Mr. Tisdale, will you modify your motion to?
Or to adjourn in honor of National First Responders Day.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Shoemaker. Any discussion? All in favor? Those opposed? The meeting is now done.